Hello, gorgeous fempreneur babes. Welcome to this masterclass where I share with you details on how I made $21,000 in a matter of 30 days. Technically, less than 30 days. It was a span of maybe 10, 15 days. This is the work that I'm so proud of, and it's something that I've embodied really deeply and truly. So if you're hopping on here, say hello in the comments. If you are catching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments. So I'm going to start with this. About 6 months ago, I started my business from ground zero, from scratch. And last month was my biggest month yet. It was my $21,000 month, and it just freaking blew my mind. I took some time to reflect. I took some time to look at what were some of the insights, the golden nuggets, what were some of the key potent shifts that I made in my business that really helped me quantum shift and leap into this. So today I am so excited to share this with you. Hi Jackie. So if you're hopping on here, say hello in the comments. I would love for you to interact with me. And if you are hopping on and catching the replay later, just hashtag replay in the comments, and I'd like you to interact with me as if you are interacting with me live. Why? Because when you are interacting with me live, there is an energetic calibration that happens, a portal that opens up where you integrate this information on a deeper level. My aim and my hope for this masterclass is to provide you with information and value and some sort of transformation. But when you interact with me, when you're active and you're participating, you get a deeper level of integration and embodiment. Okay? So I'm gonna preface this masterclass with this. First off, I'm gonna be looking at my phone very consistently because I have notes on my phone, and I literally downloaded this masterclass an hour before I came on here. Okay? So I have this true embodiment with a lot of these elements, but at the same time, I need some structure. So my phone's gonna give me that structure. I'm gonna preface this masterclass with this. These are the elements that I deeply believe that you have to embody at every single level. There is levels to it. There's mastery to it. And every single level, no matter where you're at, even if you are starting from ground zero, if this is your first 500 month, this is your first 1K month, 2K, 5K, 8K, 10K, 20K, or even beyond 20K months, this is levels of mastery with every single element here. And you can plug back into this energy over and over again. This masterclass is here to stay in this group. And I'd love for you, if you want to take notes, that is completely fine. But if you don't, I'd love for you to just stay here, plug in the energy. And if there's something that's like, aha, this is for me, you can always come back to it and make a more detailed note of it, okay? The second piece that I want to share with you is that, setting the context, I started my business not based on icky energy. I don't do well with sales calls. I don't do well with cold DMs. I don't like long sales pages or click-through funnels that are so lengthy and just exhausting. That's not how I run my business. The way I run my business is purely based on desire, based on attracting your hell yes clients, based on integrity, based on embodiment, on what you truly believe in and what you are here to do for the people that you're meant to serve. So that is the foundation that I truly believe in, that works for me, that's sustainable for me. Okay, so I'm gonna preface it with this, and the elements and the pillars that I'm gonna share in the rest of the masterclass is going to hold that context. Hello. Hello, Libby. Hello, Annie. I'm so happy you guys are here. All right, so let's begin. Let's get down to the details. I'm going to share with you 5 main pillars of this masterclass, 5 main pillars that are very strategic, okay? It can be part strategic and part mindset, but in the end, I'm gonna wrap this beautiful masterclass up with activation and mindset pieces that's gonna wrap it up in a beautiful little bow so you can take it and plug back into it whenever you desire, okay? So let's get on with our 5 elements. The first thing that I want to share with you is that this is something that you may or may not have heard before, but I'm gonna iterate it over and over again. And maybe when I say it, it's gonna land with you differently. And this is what it is. You have to have a consistency in showing up in your business. You are an entrepreneur, a coach, you're an online coach. And if you don't show up, how are you going to be providing an opportunity for people to work with you, right? So showing up is very key. And then the next piece is on consistency. I know people have a lot of icky energy around showing up and they're like, you know what? I don't know. I don't feel good about showing up. I don't feel like I want to show up. But that's the thing. You are an online business coach. How are you going to be coaching people? How are you going to tell the world that you are here and build a brand and build a business if you're not showing up in the first place? Okay? Now I'm going to give you like some pieces where showing up feels effortless and with ease. The consistency that comes with it, I believe that it's not really about how often you show up. It's really about having a consistency, a set frequency in how you show up. And what I mean by that is it could be showing up once or twice a week on your social media in the very beginning. So what I did in the beginning really exhausted me and burned me out because I committed to showing up every single day. I didn't know, I thought that this was the way it was. I'm just gonna show up every single day. I'm gonna post whatever that comes through. So I ended up being exhausted and burnt out. Why? Because I was consuming, I was just putting out content for the sake of putting out. I was showing up just to check the box. I was showing up in an energy that felt like obligation. And that's not what we want to play with, because you do end up feeling resentment, feeling like a distaste for showing up. We want to start from what you can handle in the very beginning, okay? So what is it that you can handle right now? It could be just showing up once or twice a week. I have clients who are committed to showing up once or twice a week. And in the time that you have, you exhale, you breathe out, and you appreciate the time and space you have for a business that you chose. This time and space that you chose to have for you, okay? You can start showing up with 1 or 2 times a week, a cadence, 3 to 4 times. What works for you right now in your business? And you always, always, always have the option to increase your capacity to show up, okay? I started, like I said, I started with showing up every single day, burnt me out, and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna take a break, and then I'm gonna figure out how I want to start showing up. And then I committed to 3 to 4 times. And in the days that I didn't show up, I truly felt so appreciative of the time and space I had. So much breath, exhale, and know that I was supported by this masculine commitment, a masculine structure that was aligned with my business. So that when I do show up, I am appreciative of the time that I have to present myself to the world, to present myself online, okay? So let me know if you are getting this, okay? Let me know how you feel about showing up, how you feel about the consistency. I know that there are people who talk about showing up when they feel like showing up, okay? It does work for some. I have to say it does work for some, but it's never worked for me. Because when you show up just based on your emotions, there's no masculinity, there's no commitment here. And people want to see that. People want to see what your staying power is, how often you show up. There are people who are okay with showing up the way that they feel, in a way that when the timing is right, when you're in the right energy, right? And if that works for you, I would say sure, go for it, play around with it. And maybe when you play around with it, there is a consistency in your energy that you see, and it starts to form a structure. And that gets to work for you too. But if in the beginning that doesn't work, then I would suggest commit to a type of consistency, a cadence. Okay? And what does this result in? What does consistently showing up result in? And here's what I think results in. First off, I touch a little bit on this, which is the staying power. Your audience knows that you are in this for the long haul because you're committed, and your consistency shows how committed you are, how dedicated, and how much you believe in your work. Because here's the thing, when we don't show up, we do a disservice not only to the world, to the people who are following us and online, but we do a disservice to ourselves because we then go in and out of this connection with our work. Showing up gives us a new chance, an opportunity to connect to our work deeply in the way we articulate our work, in words, images, however it shows up for you. My consistency comes and goes, which is not consistency. Yeah. So commit to a cadence. That sets a masculine structure. And showing up consistently also gives you a visibility and presence. They know you, they want to know what you're offering, and they start trusting you. And that's key to building a long-term relationship with your clients. Okay? So the second pillar that I just absolutely love, and I'm so passionate about it, is providing value. Okay? And I have 2 words for this. Providing value is equivalent to doing your freaking job. If you are an online coach, an online entrepreneur, you gotta provide value to your audience first in order for them to understand what you're about. What is it that you can offer to them so that they can take your findings and implement that into their business? There are many ways you can provide value. So the way that I go about it is I provide value in every single post of mine. If you follow me on Instagram, fmpreneur.babe, every single one of my posts is like a masterclass. Because it can be a masterclass. Because it's so jam-packed with value. The value is concise. It's very tangible. It benefits you right away. It's something that my client can take, okay, yep, this makes sense, I understand it. Okay, maybe I will try to implement this into my business. And it's something that they can change right away, right? And it is a way for people to plug into our energy. It is a way for people to understand the value of our work, the value of our offers. So the thing about providing value is online and on your free platform is I don't hold back. Because I truly, truly believe that you're here for a different experience. You're here in a masterclass. It's a completely different experience from an IG post. You're here in my paid container or a free container. They're all different experiences. You're here in my one-on-one coaching, or you're here in my mastermind. They're all completely different experiential containers as opposed to it being a free post. So you don't really got to hold back. And this is what I tell my one-on-one clients all the time. There's no way, yes, people consume your information, but at the same time, half the time they don't consume it, right? And if free advice worked, then coaching wouldn't be $1 billion industry. So just give out free value. At least the people who are not ready yet can benefit from what you are doing, can benefit from you showing up and providing consistent value. Okay, so there are different types of value that you can put out. First type of value is you can share your experiences, you can share your insights, you can share your personal story, especially when you're starting out and you're still feeling into your work, into your offers, into the embodiment of your work. You can share your personal story. And that personal story is key because it starts creating this personal relationship and interpersonal connection with your clients and with your audience, right? And then the second thing is once you have a few clients, you have interaction with the people in that space, you can start posting and sharing information and insights from your conversations with your clients, from an aha moment even in your own life, right? So for me, what's really been potent is in my one-on-one containers, the things that my one-on-one clients are sometimes struggling, I share that. And it doesn't take away from my one-on-one container, neither does it take away from any of the free content that I share. Okay, and the third one is sharing elements from your offer. The third type of value that you can share is you can share elements from your offer. People are like, oh gosh, I want to sell this offer, but I also don't want to give away too much. Like I said, you're not really giving away as much because people consume and also they don't consume. So share elements of your offer. If there's a niche element that you're like, okay, this is so good, I can expand it into an entire post and this is going to be for someone. Another thing about posting and providing value is the more niche you go, the more potent it is. When I say niche, I mean specific. You can literally take out a specific thread of consciousness, like this very fine, thin thread of consciousness that came through you, through your client's conversation, through any challenges you're going through. Just pull that out and you can expand that into a piece of value. So how are you feeling? How are you feeling about the first two pillars? Consistency in showing up and providing value. Oh, I'm so glad, Libby. Thank you. Literally, the result of these two pillars is I wrote 3 words: do your job. Consistency in showing up and providing value is literally the core elements of where you should start. And I'm gonna tell you, I started with 0 followers. My people literally were my sisters and my family who liked my thing, and myself. I used to get 1 or 2 likes. Now, when I post potent, valuable content and consistently show up, people know me, they trust me, they engage in my content, they're saving and they're sharing the content, they're telling me, hey, this is gold, this is so good. And I feel good because my job is done. So when you're starting out, even if your piece of content benefits 1 person, your job is motherfucking done. Okay? All right. So the third one. The third pillar is embodiment of your one offer. Embodiment of your one offer. when I started, I got sucked into how people were pumping out offers on offers on offers, programs and programs on programs. And I was like, do I have to do that? Like, and I tried to do a group program, and then I tried to do so many things, but nothing really landed. Nothing landed as potently as my one-on-one offers. So when you're starting, it depends on where your energetics is at. If you feel like you want to start off with your one-on-one offer because you're still playing around with the things that you're embodying, playing around with the things you're integrating, learning, and the things that excite you, one-on-one offer is the place to be. Why? Because it allows you a huge playground to put things together, right? As opposed to having a group program, and then a group program seems, you're like, I don't know how to be specific. I don't know how to message this because I know so much about this. It's just, and also not enough at the same time, right? So the way that you do your one-on-one offer is to really structure it in a way that you are embodying the elements of your one-on-one offer. And it can be very, very simple. You don't need to complicate it. Just for your own sake, write down, what does a 3-month container, a 6-month container looks like. A 3-month container, if you start off with that, it really is 12 calls, right? 12 calls, 12 hours. What are some of the 12 topics that you want to touch on, that you have embodied in your life? Look at your own personal life, your own personal experiences. Everybody's embodied something, 100%. Okay? Everybody's embodied something. And it is for you to choose which type of embodiment, which facet of embodiment would you like to bring out and share with the world. If you are a business coach or you're a manifestation coach, where have you manifested things? Is it manifesting a love life, relationship, manifesting money? But how did you do it? How did you do it? You can pull apart your own process. Yes, sometimes we just do it and we don't know that, but if you really deep dive into it and you pull apart the threads, you'll find out what were some of the things that you were doing at that time in order for you to manifest something, in order for you to build something. Right? Embodiment is key. This masterclass and why I'm delivering this is purely embodiment. The reason that I put this together and it's just all scattered in my notes, and I put this together an hour before this masterclass, is because of embodiment. The reason I'm speaking about it just so fluidly, so fully self-expressed, is because of embodiment. It's easy, but at the same time, it doesn't come with ease. It's something that you have to practice. It's something that you have to really devote yourself to. And I know if you're here, there's something that you have devoted yourself to. There's something that you have to say. You have to share with the world. That's why you're here. There's something that you're dying to just put together and be like, yes, world, take it. This is yours. And I'm here to facilitate and assist you to have your breakthroughs, because this helped with my breakthroughs. So you are here because there is something that you have to offer and you have embodied it. Now it is just for you to put it in a structure, whatever that looks like for you, and be confident in doing so because you have freaking embodied it. Okay, so this piece about offers is a huge piece. It's about charging high ticket offer, the way you price your offers. High ticket offers are anything that's above $1,000, right? You can be an accountability coach for $1,000. If you nail down the first two elements, the first two pillars that I shared with you, consistency in showing up and providing value, being an accountability coach is going to be a walk in the park. And you can start off with just that. If you're so not sure about what you want to do, how you want to present yourself, you can literally just start with that. But if you can't live up to that 1K a month coaching, if it's too much for you, like, oof, I don't know if I'm worth it, if I don't know if I'm good enough, there's no shame in lowering your prices. Lowering your prices sometimes is very powerful because it's not for the people. It's very much for you. It's for your own believability. When you sell, let's say you lower your price to 500. When you are able to sell your thing for 500, then there's evidence. There's evidence in your brain. Oh, okay, that sold. I can increase my pricing, maybe to 800. Okay, that sold. And then you start building your confidence. You can climb that ladder of believability like that. But if 500 feels very much like you're discounting yourself and it's not exciting enough for you to show up, then yes, please be my guest, increase your prices. I am all for high ticket offers. Why? Because the high ticket offers, A, excites me. B, it sets my standard. C, it calls in high quality people. It calls in my hell yes clients. And I only want to work with hell yes clients. Because working with hell yes clients truly, truly elevates my body of work. It elevates who I am, my context, my brand, my business. So if anything, high ticket offers is, if you can get your energy behind it, get behind it. But again, you can always get there. You can always climb that ladder and you can always get there. Okay? Yes, makes a lot of sense. It's being who you are. It's really about being true to yourself. Because if you can't sell $1,000 offer to yourself and you don't believe in that amount, there's no energy behind it, then it's all gonna be wobbly. You're gonna be wishy-washy in your sales. You're not gonna show up consistently. You're gonna feel off. Then what's the point of that? And then you're gonna feel exhausted and burned out and you're gonna resent yourself. There's no point in doing that. There's a point in being true to right now, who you are, and working from there because you get to grow. Evolution and growth. Okay. My fourth pillar is selling the offer. Selling the offer over and over and over again. There is an art to selling the offer, for sure. And the selling and launch sequence could in itself be a whole entire program that I can talk about. But what I'm going to share today is that there is no shame in selling your offer, the same offer over and over. I had my one-on-one offer, and that was the highest ticket offer, and it was no joke. It was in multiple four figures, and that's all I had to share and all I had to sell. And because that's the only thing that I wanted to sell. Just because I want to sell it, that's enough of a reason for me to sell and show up. And just because it's the highest ticket offer, it doesn't stop me from thinking about what if it's too expensive for people? What if people judge me for selling like high ticket items over and over again when I'm not even offering anything low? Because I wasn't available for that. If I'm not available for it, if my energy isn't available for it, then I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna force myself to get people through this whole funnel and do that. I'm just gonna show up the way I wanna show up because this is my business. This is how I wanna sell it, right? So you can sell your offer, whatever it is, even if it's a low ticket offer, even if it's that one masterclass that you wanna fill up. Sell that offer over and over again for 2 weeks, even if it's the same thing you're talking about. And you can sell it from many different angles. So the more you get comfortable selling over and over again, you're gonna find your own unique way of selling. You're gonna find what lights you up, what activates you, and then your brain's gonna come up with so many creative ways for you to sell that one single thing. Because truly, selling is an art. It's an artistic creation. It involves creativity. It involves how you wanna portray, language, message your offer. And there's so many ways you can do it. From life examples, from just living through it, from your own embodiment, from your client's testimonial, from a story, right? So it's important that you do that over and over again because it gives you practice and deeper connection to your work. Every time I show up and I sell my one-on-one, it just connects me deeply to why I'm there. Not only to my offer, but also in general to my work. So it truly is a portal, and it facilitates us to connect deeper to our work. So I don't know why people shy away from it. So I would urge you, if you have that one offer in the beginning, in order to hit your first 5-figure, multiple 5-figure months, sell that one offer until you have gone through the energetics and the roller coaster ride of that whole sales sequence, until you've done that over and over and you're like, yes, I got it. I would urge you to keep doing it before you hop onto something else. And yes, sell it even if you have a small audience. I have literally 200 followers on Instagram and I sell every day. You sell it even if you have a small audience and even if it's not like a full launch. So usually what I do with my offers is I literally just put it out there. That's my launch and I sell it. And there is obviously a sequence to it, but we're not going to get into the details of the sequence to it. But what I'm trying to say is you can sell it even with a small audience, and it doesn't matter which part of the launch sequence you're in. Even if you are at pre-sale, especially if you are starting out, sell and give them information at pre-sale, right? Because the chances are you may not have a hot audience that will jump into your offer. The chances are people may need a little more information from you in order for them to buy it from you. Okay. All right, how are we feeling? We're gonna go into the last pillar. Oof, this one is hot. It comes in hot. Selling is an art. Never thought of that. Yes. There's always this norm that you have to sell different things or else you're not creative. Why don't we just direct our creativity into selling that one thing? Because truly, when you own it, when you own that one thing and you sell that one thing, you feel more embodiment in it. And the more embodiment you feel, the more you feel like there's power in your sales. There's power in your pricing, and you can increase your pricing for that as well. That's how you can grow and get to your first 5-figure. If in the beginning, that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, if I'm not selling many different things, does it mean that, I'm not good enough to pump out these things? But that's really not true. I made my multiple first 5 figures with just one offer, right? We have to get there first. We have to learn to crawl before we learn how to walk and run. And we get to fill in the pieces of the puzzle first. But the first thing is fill in that one, be good at that one piece of puzzle, right? One piece of puzzle. And then we can fill in all the other different pieces. And you know what? The most beautiful thing is when you start selling and you start doing these things, you're gonna start thinking more creatively, like what lights you up? Okay, this lit me up so much. this could be a program, this could be an offer, I'm gonna write this down. So then you're gonna curate it into something that's entirely so beautifully you and your full self-expression. Which brings us to our fifth pillar. Our fifth pillar is showing up self-expressed. Show up self-expressed. How do you express yourself? Like, how do you express yourself? What do you wear? There are so many tools. So Instagram, online, wherever social media is available to you, the platform that you're on, you have words, you have pictures, you have caption. On Instagram, you have stories, you have reels for you to express yourself. How do you show up is completely different from how the other person's gonna show up, even if you're saying the same thing. Why? Because the words that you are going to use, when you're fully expressed, you are in your essence, you are in your true embodiment. And you say things in a very different way. So usually, I'll tell you, in the beginning, when I used to write my post, it would not light me up. Why? Because I would regurgitate the same words, the same phrases, the same concept over and over. I'm like, ugh, that feels so boring. But then I started writing as though I am talking to my best friend. I'm like, hey, I'm so excited. Listen to what I have to say. Hear me out. So you know what? This is what happened. And this is yada yada. And I say it in my own freaking essence. I want to change things up. I say it as if I'm talking to my best friend. And I'm giving you a permission slip here to show up like that. Because people don't really read formal sentences anymore. If you start saying IG has about 1.5 billion users, this is why we should be selling on online platform because we want to increase our visibility, blah blah blah, I'm just gonna scroll through it. But if you say, hey, I am so excited about having this visibility on IG because it has about 3 billion users. Like, it just freaking blows my mind that we have such visibility and exposure. I'm saying it the way I'm saying it to my best friend, okay? So I want you to practice how that looks like. Yes, at first it may be very informal when you write it down, but then you always can tweak it to make it look a little bit more appropriate and resonates with your brand, okay? And then go from there. That's how you can be self-expressed. And what are some of the things that you can bring up to express yourself? For me, I show up on my Instagram with my matcha, sometimes with my hat. It's like pink, it's bright, it's sometimes a little bit edgy, it's cool, and that's who I am, and I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna say things like, I'm gonna use my own set of emojis, rainbows, and the blast sign, because I'm always activated, and that's what I'm gonna use. And you can do that too. So play around with your self-expression. There's so many tools. So when I say tools, I'm referring to like post is a tool, a reel is a tool, a story is a tool, your Facebook post is a tool. It's like tools in your tool belt, but it's about how the houses that you build. The houses that you're building is gonna be how you'd want to decorate it. It's an extension of who you are. It's your own self-expression. And how can you be a little bit more unleashed? A little bit more unrestricted? How can you be a little bit more uncensored? Right? Because that's the way you talk to your best friends, right? So play around with that. Truly, the more we play with that, the more we become comfortable in that, that's where our magnetism lies. That's where our attraction marketing is turned on way, way, way up. That's when you're magnetizing people, because people are like, ooh, like she's cool. Like I freaking love her. I freaking love how she says things, how she dresses up. I love how she shows up, and the way that she's sharing her story is just powerful, because you are in your own element. You are in your own essence. And the more you are comfortable doing that online, the better it is for your business. And stop being in your head. I know that when we write something, we're like in our head, we judge ourselves, we think about, what if this, what if that? Stop being in your head. Just really be in your body, be in your excitement, be in your energy. Being in your head sometimes just make things look very formal. And we want to sort of move away from that. All right, so I'm going to move into the juiciest parts, the icing on the cake, the cherry on the top, the bow on a gift. You know how the Christmas packaging, some Christmas packaging are just so gorgeous and so divine? This is what it is. I'm going to move into the activation and the mindset pieces of what wraps these 5 main content pillars. Alrighty, okay, so this one is key. This mindset and activation piece is key. It is called activation. It's literally activation. What I mean by activation is truly, where is the heartbeat of your business? Why were you here? What connected you to your business? What connects you to your clients? So this is what I'm gonna say about this. It's not something that I can teach you, but it is something that I can only model for you. Activation for me feels like a true heart-aligned connection with my clients. The heartbeat of my business is because I wanted to share my own unique insights, being the thought leader, being the entrepreneur that I am. I wanted to create a platform where I can share myself, my experiences, my thoughts with the world, and I can provide value to the people who I'm meant to serve, so that they can also take my nugget of information and implement in their business, so that they don't have to go through all the ways that I tried, and they can just go through the shortcut and they can move faster. They can gain success faster. And for me, like, there's just this beautiful relationship that I crave with my clients that I build on in my containers. And that is a key activation piece for me. In the beginning, when I started my one-on-one coaching, it was this like, hell yes, this is why I'm here. Because whenever my clients come out of that hour call, they're like renewed. They have a fresh sense of energy. They have this subtle shift, which leads to their quantum shift. They find their own activation in my container. They find their own groundedness and their own embodiment in my containers. And then they go out and just create magic, like their own unique piece of magic, just because of the activation. And for me, that's like, oh my goodness, I'm able to do that. And I'm able to do that like so beautifully. That for me is my activation. And I want you to find your activation. What is your heartbeat? Why did you start this business? Connect to that purest frequency of that desire, that little moment that led you to, yeah, I want to be a coach. yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur online here, and I want to share my values. I want to share myself. I want to express myself here. What was that little moment? Tap back into that moment, because your activation and your magic truly lies there. Whew. Are you obsessed with your business? Because I am obsessed with my business. I truly am, because it's an extension of who I am. It activates me. Showing up here in this little screen, even if it's like outside of my containers, it's a free masterclass, it's a free content, it activates the bejesus out of me. Just looking at myself, talking, sharing my voice, sharing my thoughts, sharing my experiences with you all. And so that you can also take this and be like, yep, I got this, I'm gonna run with this. That's my activation. And that's my full self-expression. So if you're not more in love with your business, I would say you gotta really go live your life. Because your business is an extension of you. And if you are operating from an energy of needing, lack, and like feeling like, how am I going to pay my bills? How I'm gonna put food on the table? Then I'm gonna ask you to find that security first. Find that security first before you can do this, because you can't be activated from a space of worry, stress, pressure from the external environment. You can only be activated when you yourself are in overflow. And if you have that security and you're not activated, then I would say really start living your life. Really bring in more intentionality into how you live your life, right? Like, your life is just passing by you. You're functioning on autopilot, which is probably why you're not activated. You're just doing the things that you think you should be doing, and you're not finding what truly lights you up. So go live, find where your overflow is, and then bring that overflow into your business, because that is very key. The way we operate, the way we're here as business coaches, online mentors, we're here to provide an activation and calibration for people. If we can't even find that for ourselves, either plug back into living your life, plug into a container, seek support, and come back with a renewed sense of like love and pure joy and desire for your business. Because truly, I want you to build your, that's so powerful. I want you to build your empire based on excitement, based on obsession, based on like so much love, based on so much activation, based on so much energy. And it's all from a place of purity and alignment. I am obsessed. Yay. Okay. The second piece of this activation, this one also hits me right in the heart and pulls my heartstrings, because this one is something that's very, very powerful and something that I have been experimenting. And I'm here to share with you what my insights are through this. I'm calling it Handle Fear with Care. Handle fear with care. Fears. Let's talk about our fears. It's this huge elephant in the room all the time. But what if I fear this? What if I fear that? What if people judge me? What if this happens? What if that happens, right? It's like this impending doom generator in your head, like your thoughts, it just goes off. It's like an alarm in the beginning, because if you're cerebral like me, in the beginning, your alarm's gonna go off all the freaking time. Your head's gonna hurt, your alarm's gonna go off all the freaking time. But this is what I've realized. It's not something that we can ignore. Fears are gonna be with us. Our intelligence, our mind is gonna be with us. And we can't just like cut off our intelligence and just work with our energy because we have to walk along with it. We're human. What I realized and what's really truly helped me is work with our mind, work with my intelligence. Yes, there are thoughts that come up. I would sit with those thoughts, even if they're negative. It's not like I am engaging with the thoughts. I'm sitting with it and I'm looking at these thoughts. And I'm actually having a conversation with my brain, with my intelligence, with my ego, and with my human. And I'm like, hey, okay, tell me. Tell me what's up. Tell me what we're fearing. And let's look at it. Let's really look at it, right? I look at it in the eye. I'm like, okay, what are my thoughts? Okay, what if people judge me? What if I have 0 signups? What if this doesn't work out? Okay, cool. Let's look at each one of these. What if people judge me? People are gonna judge me all the time. People are gonna judge whether or not you show up or not. They're gonna judge. People who are gonna judge are gonna judge. And people who are getting triggered, that's great. You're welcome, right? I'm showing you your growth edge. And people who just don't like me, they are not people who I'm meant to serve anyways. And again, if my context is calling in hell yes clients, then I really don't want to serve people who don't like me. I want my clients to love me, right? And I only am available for that. Okay, cool. The next thought, what if I have 0 signups? What if people just don't buy from me at all? Okay, so what? So what if you have 0 signups? So we're gonna do it again and it's okay, we're gonna pick ourselves back again. So what are the worst case scenarios? Sometimes these are the worst case scenarios, right? What if people don't buy from me? What if I have 0 sign up? I'm gonna be so embarrassed and I am gonna feel so much shame. Okay, and then what? So what? Will I die? Will I is my safety really in question? Is my human safety in question? No, it's not. So am I gonna feel discouraged? Am I gonna be disappointed? Am I gonna be maybe a little heartbroken? Yeah, I am. But so what? Are you gonna be fine? Because you've been heartbroken and you've been fine. You've been disappointed and you've been okay. You've been discouraged so many freaking times and you've been fine. Look at you. Look at where you're at. You're selling a freaking offer. You are your own business boss woman. You have an online freaking business. You're an entrepreneur. You've gone through that. A little bit of a discomfort and a little bit of a disappointment is not going to phase you, right? So I have this conversation with my intelligence. So are we gonna be fine? Yeah. We're gonna handle it. We're gonna be fine. If it comes, if that happens, if that worst case scenario happens, then I'm going to be fine. I'm gonna handle this fear. I'm gonna handle this fear and I'm going to turn it into my personal power. And this is what I mean by alchemizing your fear and turning it into your personal power. And what I mean by that is expanding your energy. Be like, fear, come here. Let's be buddies. And I know we already listed out the worst case scenario. And if it actually happens, you know what? I will be able to live with a little bit of disappointment. I'm gonna be okay with it. I'm gonna handle myself. I'm gonna care for myself. I'm gonna handle myself with care, which is why the tagline, handle fear with care. I'm gonna handle my fears with care. I'm gonna love myself when it actually happens. And I know I will get through it. So what's there to fear now? When you actually alchemize your fears and you turn it into your own personal power, you feel this sense of expansion. That's how it feels for me in my body. And that's how it feels for me in my body. And I feel like my power, it actually expands, like drastically. When I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's be with it. Right? So the handle fear with care piece is this. If it's too much for you, if it's like, okay, I cannot handle people not liking me, I cannot handle 0 signups. Nope. I can't. Then that's completely fine. If you can't handle that, that's completely fine. Just sit back and relax and work on more embodiment before you put out an offer. Work on crafting more of your offers more deeply and with more context in your offers before you put that offer out. And then we're gonna try again. I don't want you to push yourself to a point where you shock your nervous system, where you shock your human. So a lot of the times, the universe does not let us get to our next level because we're not able to handle the flip side. The flip side is, I put out an offer, there's 0 sign up. I put out an offer, people judge me and people think that I'm too much. But when you're able to handle the flip side, the universe is like, oh, she is ready, so let's do it. The universe does not give you your next level when you get so traumatized that people are not buying from you that it sends you back into your triggers and it sends back to your traumas. It's like, nope, we're not doing this. The universe literally closes your energy. Closes the portal for you to be an energetic match. It's like, we'll come back when you're ready. Okay? So handle your fear with care. When you have this fear, really ask yourself, is it the worst case scenario? And if it's the worst case scenario, will I be able to handle it? And if I'm gonna be able to handle it, you're gonna handle it with your 5% conscious. Our human brain is 95% subconscious, 5% conscious. You're gonna consciously decide that if and when you get disappointed and heartbroken, you're gonna be fine. And you're gonna alchemize that into your power. You're gonna be fine, and you're consciously choosing that. As opposed to when the fear comes up, you immediately slips into your 95 subconscious, and then you get back into your trauma and you regurgitate that compound, that energy, and it just compounds in the negative in the opposite direction. It sends you into your triggers, and then you're exhausted, you're burnt out, you have so much resentment, and you're like, nope, you unplug. Exhale. Handling our humans and handling our emotions, handling fear with care, that is a work of our lifetime. That is something that we're gonna do at every single level, so it is better that we start doing it now. The more we do it now, the more we start training ourselves to take these baby steps, the faster we're gonna be able to quantum leap. And when I say don't shock the human, I mean don't shock the human. The point is to train our human, to train our capacity to handle things. Just like the way I'm saying about posting and showing up. If at first five times posting is too much, show up 1 time, then show up 2 times. It's like training a muscle. If running a free masterclass every month is really hard, every 2 months is really hard, run it once a quarter, right? Train your muscle, and then you get to build your capacity. It's like going to the gym. Start lifting slowly, and then you're gonna lift more and more and more. Okay? And then before you know it, you are at your freaking 100K month, and you're on your way to be a millionaire. And the next piece is ease and simplicity. Ease and simplicity. Make it as easy on yourself and as simple on yourself as possible. Okay? Literally for this masterclass, I didn't have a branding because I don't want a branding right now. It's something that's dropped. It's something that I shared with the group. The group wants me to share some insights and info, and it's in my true embodiment. So I'm just gonna show up, write a post about it. Hey, I'm doing this masterclass. It's at this time. Be there or be square. Literally on my story on Instagram was a reminder of when my masterclass is and what it is about. That's it. That's all you need. And you can just be very simple about it. But if it is in your DNA to be like, okay, no, I want to do it like this way and that way, without you stressing about it, and if that increases your flow and creativity and connection to your work, by all means, please do it. And maybe I will get to a point where I do beautiful, like long sales pages if I feel like it. But I will not go out of my way, go out of my energy in order to do things because this is what has been done. I would make it very easy on myself. And the mastermind that I just recently launched, I literally posted about it, 3 slides, talked about it in 3 slides, boom, on IG, and that's it. That's my launch. And it gets to be so simple. It gets to be so freaking simple. The reason I'm here talking to you just so effortlessly and I'm in my element is because I didn't follow a script. I didn't print out a script, be like, okay, this is what I have to memorize. This is what I have to say. I have points on my phone. That's all, to just guide me and assist me, and so that I don't go off the rails, because I can talk forever. So the question here is, with ease and simplicity, where am I feeling the drop in my power? Is it necessary in my business? Because for me, I think huge branding for a small masterclass, especially if it's a free masterclass, my energy is not behind it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it, right? I would drop my power if I just fret so much about what picture to put on my branding, what to say on my branding, when is it gonna come in, how do I post it, what do I say about it, when do I post it? It's too much. It's too much, and I'm dropping my power right there when I think about it. So I can already feel that in my body that I'm dropping my power. And then it brings me to my next question. Is it necessary in my business right now? I'm like, no, it's not. It's not gonna, people who are meant to show up, who are meant to watch this replay, they're gonna watch it. And they're gonna benefit from it so much that they're gonna implement this in their business. So then how can I make it simpler so that my power doesn't drop? And my simplicity is literally posting it on a 1 slide Instagram story. My power doesn't drop. So how can you make your life and your business simpler for you? Yes, knowing what's draining your energy is key. Love the phrase, handle fear with care. Yes, it came to me when I was just writing about fears, and I love it. I think it's gonna be a tagline for a very long time. Okay, now this piece is on personal power. Personal power, and this is gonna be my last piece because we've already been talking for an hour and I could go on forever, God knows. This is something that I wrote, and this is something that I just, it feels so strong, it feels so potent in my body and powerful that I'm just gonna read it to you as opposed to trying to explain it to you. And sometimes even these words don't do justice to that power that I feel, okay? And it's about personal power. Personal power is this inner fire in you. In the beginning, it could be a very small flame, right? It is something that you cultivate and you harness through consistency, devotion, and practice. Personal power is precise. And this is where your electromagnetism comes in. When I say precise, it means it is delicate. It is the truth in you. It is strong, but delicate. Which means, what does that look like in your business, in your life? It means Any ounce of should and have tos taints it. Any ounce of inauthenticity diminishes it. Any ounce of dilution makes it fade away. And any ounce of distortion starts chipping at it away. It is our job to recognize it, identify it, clean it, polish it, cultivate it. It is something that you find within yourself. It is very much intricately linked to your activation. And this is what I mean by cultivating. If you follow the 5 pillars, follow the consistency, and you devote to your work, you're gonna slowly start to feel that little flame in you just ignite brighter and brighter and brighter. And then you're gonna find your own self-expression, the way you say things, the way it comes across as authentic, and it's gonna add more fuel to that fire. But then when you say something that's inauthentic, that's like copying something, you feel that fire diminish a little bit. So you feel that inside of you, like this power that expands and contracts. And the more you play with it, the more you're gonna find that it's precise, that it's delicate. It's so freaking strong and powerful, and it's the way that you lead your client. It's the way that clients are attracted to you and pay you high ticket and be like, hey, I'm gonna pay you in full right now. That's what makes people move. That's what makes you move. But it is something that's practiced, something that you have to devote yourself to, and it is for you to find. It is probably the purpose of our lifetime, to find that personal power within us. Right? And that's the final activation piece that I wanted to leave you guys with. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel wrapping this beautiful gift with a bow? I love tending a fire, so this resonates so much. The way that I look at myself, my energy, and my personal power is this like magic ball, and you can call it the fire in you. Anything that I do, it adds magic. This masterclass, you interacting with me, adds a little bit more magic. My one single post that's of so much value adds a little bit more magic. And let's say my shopping adds a little bit more magic, because it just makes me so happy and activated, and I'm living my life. And my power just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The thing is that we all have access to it, but we don't have that intentionality behind the thing that we do. Like a date night, I would say adds magic to my personal power, because there is an intentionality behind it. It shows me where I am. It shows me as a woman of what I do with my life and with my business. A client coming into my world, a client coming into my free content, it adds more magic to it because I am interacting with you. We're connecting. This adds more magic to not only me, just to the entire world. Like, we're shifting in ripple effects. Right? Okay, so I'm gonna take the next 2 minutes and I'm gonna extend an opportunity for you to move forward with your business if this conversation lit you up. If this conversation lit you up, this is how my containers are. It's full embodiment, it's full integrity, it's full being in our personal power, full activation, because I truly believe that these are the elements that you can take forever with you through your $1 million business journey. And it's gonna be something that you can plug into at every single step. Right now, I have 2 ways that you can work with me. And I truly think that this is an opportunity for you. All my offers, I think, is an opportunity for people to up level in their business. And that's how I want you to get behind your offers too. Okay? So the first one is a mastermind that's upcoming in January. It's going to be like a mastermind style, but I will integrate elements of group coaching. It's going to be called content consciousness. If consistency in showing up is something you struggle with, if finding the value, how you show up, expressing yourself entirely through this online platform is something that you want to master, then content consciousness shows you the energetics and the strategy behind showing up online. It is making social media and online platform an embodiment practice, right? If you've been following me on fempreneur.babe on Instagram, if you like the way I show up, I explain to you the way that you can show up effortlessly and with ease. And it is gonna be a mastermind in January. So for this group only, it's at a pre-sale. The pre-sale is gonna be at a discount. My regular pre-sale is at $4,444. For this group only, it's gonna be $3,888 until Friday, November 12th, 9 p.m. Okay, so this is just a limited time thing. And right now, if you're not ready for it, that's completely fine. You're not ready for it. And I hope for you to take through the pillars that I explained and integrate that in your business. The second way of working with me is my one-on-one container. I talk about my one-on-one container so much because I am absolutely so activated by it and I absolutely am obsessed with it. You have the option of working with me 3 months or 6 months. And it is very transformative. It's very powerful. And it's the elements that we go through today, but with your energetics, with how you want to do your business, because it looks very different for different people. I have a client who is also not a business coach. She is totally different, a different type of entrepreneur. And we're scaling her business. Why does it work? It works because it's based on your energetics and a strategy that works only for your business. So that is my one-on-one container. The third thing I could do is a bundle for both because my mastermind is not included in my one-on-one container. So if you are interested in that as well, I can put together a bundle for you. All right. I love that you guys showed up and showed out. Thank you so much for engaging with me. If you're interested in any one of these offers, message me here or message me on Instagram. And if you feel complete in your body, I love you and I want you to succeed. I want you to tap into your own activation, and I'm hoping that this masterclass will just feel as activating as any of my containers. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for spending this hour with me. I love you, and I will see you on the internet very soon. Bye.